much that you need to know.
There you are! You gave us quite a scare, young lady. This house has seen more than you can imagine. And it knows. You just don't understand? Or is it that you just don't care?
Hello there YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I'm here to appetize your Resident Evil 7 hunger once again. So kick back, relax, put your feet up and light your fireplace. Get a nice comfy atmosphere going and let's get right into it. However, if you didn't watch my previous video, I heavily implore you to go check that out now, as it contains a bunch of leaks and spoilers not showcased on any other YouTube channel from a source I am currently in contact with. So before we get into the meat of the content, I want to say that I did have some inside sources for the ability to create this little theory video. However, I did ask the source to remain cryptic enough not to spoil the entire game for me. You know, allowing me to basically create a more filtered speculation that's on the right path, but in no way do I think I'm 100% correct on all of these things. It's definitely the right lead for the story, however, so if you are interested in speculating the Resident Evil 7 story, I advise you to stay here and gain all the insight you can, because there is a lot of it. I guarantee that if you are interested in the Resident Evil 7 storyline, you will appreciate the video, so without further delay, let's just get right into the main content. We all know the story is set after Resident Evil 6. 4 years after, to be specific, with the protagonist being a man named Ethan who is set to save his wife, Mia. The location will be mainly set in a plantation mansion, however Capcom did state that a variety of locations will be traversed, which was expected as it is a traditional staple of the entire franchise. Now this is where most things get into speculation and why I'm here to help you guys out with that. We know that Mia has a gift from leaked dialogue from the Lantern demo. I covered this in one of my previous theory videos, and we know that Margaret and Mia seem to have some sort of connection beyond damsel in distress and villain. They actually seem to have a history together and definitely know each other, Margaret even addressing her. Let me quote a few of these lines. "There you are, you gave us quite a scare, young lady. This house is off limits. Why are you doing this after all we've done for you? You have a gift. Why can't you just accept it? Just stay where we tell you." I'm just going to say that based on Margaret's appearance, she is definitely infected. However, she is also retaining her sanity, and she's even able to speak and think, and Jack is very, very similar, and this is definitely points that these two still having intelligence and sentience. They aren't mindless corpses walking around like the previous zombies in games. It's also apparent that Marguerite hasn't been infected for a short duration. This descent into madness, this doesn't occur over a short time, and based on the statements, "just stay where we tell you," and the other statement of "there you are, you gave us quite a scare, young lady," Margaret has been in dispute with Mia, probably over Mia's gift, which leads us to the next question: what is Mia's gift? This one has me the most interested, but I'll leave this one for another video, but you guys can have fun pulling that apart. Now, I will mention it a little bit, I just mean I won't go into too much detail. So I want to focus on two things that have been left behind for a while. First off, why is the Biohazard titled and now released in both Japan and America? Some of the previous games had Biohazard in them, but it was a Japanese only thing. This is definitely a brand name that is relevant to the actual plot itself. Now, a biohazard, according to Wikipedia, is a biological substance which poses a threat to the health of all living organisms such as humans. This includes medical waste, microorganisms, viruses, or toxins. I think we can all narrow down from a Resident Evil narrative this will definitely just be the virus part of a biohazard, but let's study this further. There are several levels of listed biohazards by the United States Center of Disease Control. The one that we shall be looking at is level 4. Biohazard level 4 are viruses that cause severe to fatal disease in humans and for which vaccines or other treatments are not available. This definitely sounds like something to do with Resident Evil, right? A virus that doesn't have a vaccine and it's basically lethal to humans and causes disability or other things or fatal disease. Now, it does say that currently there are no bacteria classified at this level at all, so I guess this again points back to the Resident Evil virus series and why this title is becoming a little bit more apparent. But I'll elaborate a little bit more. Now, I think we can all agree based on this though that Resident Evil 7 will be featuring a classification for biohazard, but let's get into the real point I want to talk about. How do biohazards spread? One source is through animals, and as we have seen in the baker's house, mutilated animal corpses have been strewn about, and they've even been cut up, even being placed in the microwaves and the refrigerator, with Jack and Margaret being infected and Mia having a gift. this should all raise some questionable flags for you guys. It definitely does for me. So the next question I ask is, who is the little girl on the game art? Why hasn't she been referenced at all? She was also shown in the reveal trailer close up and animated, so she definitely ties up into this and she's important. But I came across an interesting piece of information about this. So Richard Pazzi, I hope I pronounced his name right, but Richard Pazzi, who's got writing credits for Spec Ops: The Line, but more importantly, the original Fear, is also working on Resident Evil 7. Now with the ghost girl and a small girl on the cover and a guy who worked on Alma's original character, that should definitely give us some insight what's going on here, right? A little bit of a connection seems to be brewing in my mind that these two characters are connected. Now all that is left to ask is, who is the little girl? We see her in front of what looks to be the Baker's house, but we don't see Baker's as having any reference of a daughter. They didn't seem to have one. The only mention of a child was Lucas. And the only other couple that we have seen that actually is mentioned in the plot and could have connection to such a young girl seems to be Ethan and Mia, who are also married. Now, I think there is a strong connection, guys, here. Mia does have a gift. The small girl, you know, the ghost girl also has a connection with the writer of Alma being involved in the project. It all starts to add together a little bit here. So guys, to conclude all of this, I think the Bakers went missing around the time a certain biohazard released into the environment somewhere nearby. I think the biohazard infected wild creatures, which is further reinforced by the fact that the reveal trailer shows us many scenes of the forest with wildlife decaying and rotting into the ground. I think this new virus infects people a little bit differently from the previous games, with their sentience remaining somehow a little bit. The Bakers became infected with this virus from interacting with the infected wildlife over time. The Bakers were somehow involved also with Mia, who has a gift. Mia probably having a child with Ethan, who is connected to the main plot. The little girl has connections with the ghost girl, but there is some type of physical explanation for all of that in the end. And Mia and the infection seem to have a close relation too. Regardless of all the exposure near the Bakers and the infection, she seems to be completely immune to it. But is a child, or did a child get manipulated by the virus? Just remember, guys, this is all purely speculation on my part, with a little bit of a prod in the right direction by a very awesome anonymous source who I give big credits and respect to. Thank you so much for all of what you have given me. You have no idea what it means. However, I hope you guys enjoyed this little theory video, and I hope it gets everyone's hype reignited, as this is definitely the right path for the storyline. I hope some people actually start trying to piece together parts from everything I've mentioned, including the trailers, the gameplay, little paintings in the houses and the trailers and cover art and stuff, and start making your own theories based on this. And if you have anything to say about this video, please let me know below in the comments, and I will meet you there to discuss any points on the story or speculation or theories you have. But for now, have a beautiful day and take it easy.